Hey
Yay.
guys, we are back for this latest installment of Hillbilly Horror Stories Live, and tonight we obviously have some special guests. We have Dakota and we have Kristen from Hillbilly Youngens. Well,
Hi.
Hello.
can I at least welcome you to the show?
Sorry, we were like so excited. That was a premature hi. Sorry.
So anyway, most people know if they listen to the show that Kristen is our daughter and Dakota is our granddaughter. They've both been on the show numerous times, so we eventually said let's just give them their own little segment. So that's what we did, and that is Hillbilly Youngins. That is every Monday morning on the Hillbilly Horror Stories feed. Girls, I'm going to turn it over to you guys and let y'all tell us a little bit about what your episode that you do on Mondays entails.
Okay. So we just choose different topics that we like.
Mm-hmm.
We're both into paranormal, and we decided to kind of just choose topics we like, but aim it towards the younger audience. I mean, that's really it. But also, the adults like it too, so it kind of worked out.
Yeah, we have a bunch of fans, and we thank you all for listening.
Yeah,
to the
we
show.
thank you guys so much for listening.
Oh, thank you guys. You're sweet.
And you guys also have some social media.
We have an Instagram.
Well,
Hillbilly Youngins is the username, and you guys can follow us on that. But other than that, I have an Instagram, my own personal one.
I don't.
We do not have a Facebook page. We should probably put one together though.
Other than Hillbilly Youngins on Instagram, I don't have any social media. So
He doesn't have a phone yet. So
Well, that's all right. That's all right. Things will come in time.
All right,
Hey,
guys.
boy.
when she's 18.
Those of you, if you notice that your name is up here under Facebook user, that's because you're logging in from the group, which is fine, but we won't know who you are. If you want to log in over on the Facebook page, the actual Facebook page, we'll be able to see your name and stuff. So it's up to you, however you want to do it. Just know that if you're coming up as Facebook user up here, that's because you're in from the group and they haven't worked out all these bugs yet.
Can you all see? Can you all see your messages up there?
See, boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're trying to follow them the best we can. They're so fast.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to trust me. It's going to be hard to follow him.
Boyd said he's not a youngin, but he loves your podcast.
Thanks, Boyd.
Thank you.
Boyd
Hi,
also
everybody.
loved him.
Hey, Raymond, we met you before at the show. What show was that? Over
Lexington.
in Lexington. Yeah. Chop House. Was it, right? Chop House?
No,
Or, no. What?
it was the other one. Columbia Steakhouse.
Columbia.
Yeah,
That's
Columbia
right.
Steakhouse.
Yeah.
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah, he told us, he sat up front and told the story with his wife.
Yes. Okay, so
Kevin.
the plan tonight, we can't say hi to everybody. Sorry.
We tried to.
I know.
It's not very good watching where people just sit there and watch us for an hour and say hi to everybody. So that's why I put a
Yeah.
see it. Okay, so
Yeah.
the plan tonight is a little bit different than what we've done with our other guests. Tracy and I are going to do a very small story. It's not like what we do on the show as far as length, but it's a very small story that's in Bowling Green, Kentucky, right outside the Nashville, Tennessee area, for those who are a little unfamiliar with the area. And you guys are actually going to tell us a little bit about some black-eyed children. So I thought that would be something a little bit different than we could do, and in that we can all four chime in on the stories that we're doing. So I'm going to share a picture with you of the story that we're actually going to do tonight, as far as Tracy and I. Let's see. You guys can see that.
That's a cool house.
That is Octagon Hall.
Oh, I guess that's why it is. I didn't realize that's what that was. But
Morton's Gap, Kentucky. Really cool.
oh, hey, Lisa. Thank
Okay,
you, honey.
so like I said, it's about less than an hour from Nashville in Franklin, Kentucky, and Octagon Hall is right now. It's a war museum, a Civil War museum, and it's named obviously because, as you can see, it's octagon shaped. It was built during the Civil War by a gentleman by the name of Andrew Jackson Caldwell, and it's definitely seen its share of tragedies. We're going to say there was several soldiers that were killed on the property during the war. There's at least 2 that are actually buried on the premises. And then the home was actually a safe spot for Confederate soldiers to retreat if they were being pursued by Union forces. So a lot of them did come in that way, and some of them, unfortunately, were caught and didn't make it out. Now, as such, like I said, grievously wounded soldiers would often arrive at the hall. Some of them later died on the property. Many of their spirits are reported to be still on the property today. They have been seen lying on the beds, opening and closing doors. They're appearing as shadow figures, which I know is a good topic for a lot of people. And as far as the actual Caldwell family, they've had their own heartbreaking deaths as well. The most tragic was the death of 7-year-old Elizabeth. She's the most famous ghost in there. This young girl, unfortunately, burned to death after her dress caught fire while she got too close to the fireplace.
Aww.
And children that visit Octagon Hall will often see the spirit of Elizabeth. There was actually an old story of a guy who was a volunteer. So he would just sit in there and when people came in and out of the museum, he would kind of gather them around. And he saw her ghost, and he was so scared that he left in the middle of his shift and did not come back.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That's terrible.
Now, the last thing we're going to talk about with Octagon Hall is it's also been reported that you can smell the scent of decaying flowers and decaying flesh on the anniversary of Andrew's death every year. So that's a little cool place, and we've not been there yet, but we plan on going. So that's Octagon Hall. Like I said, little short story, little something to add to what we were doing.
Hey,
Now,
Jenny. Sorry, I just want to say hi to Jenny, my best friend's online.
Hi, Uncle Josh.
Oh, and Uncle Josh. Sorry. Go ahead, Happy.
Look what he wrote, Sissy. You see that?
Oh, I love you, bub.
Good. I'm so happy to see all you guys on here. This is amazing. I know the girls are excited and everything to see you guys, and hopefully this is a start of something really great.
Tracy, they want to hear you rap.
Yeah. I want to hear it
I
too.
don't know.
They said they want to hear the Tracy.
I'll drop you a beat.
Okay.
Boom, boom, boom.
I don't know a rap to that.
Oh my gosh.
So,
You better get back or something. There's something. There's bound to be a rap song you know.
you can sing it, Kristen, with me.
Me?
Get back. Yeah.
I would, but I don't know if Dakota should hear those words.
Oh. I'll tell you what. I'll work on a rap for you guys, and then I'll don't know what I'll do with it, but
I'll help her with the rap, and then she'll post it on a show. And I'll make sure it's hardcore gangsta, not even playing.
Uh-oh.
Jerry said it was also, he's talking about Octagon Hall. It was also a stop on the Underground Railroad. Yes, it was.
Oh, that's good to know. Very good to know. So do you want them to tell a story, or do you want them to answer some questions?
Let's answer. We had some people pre-write some questions. So why don't we go ahead and do the first couple of questions while I put up some of these rest ones.
Okay, cool. Awesome. First question we have is from Tammy Wilder Wilson. And the question is, what was the first story that intrigued Dakota into liking the paranormal? Same question for Kristen. Dakota, you want to go first?
Okay. Well, I guess it was actually just Grandma and Happy or Tracy and Jerry doing the show. And I thought that was really cool. So I kind of looked into it. And once I figured out all like the history and stuff about it, I thought it was the coolest thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I got intrigued into doing the podcast and to liking ghosts and stuff.
Yeah, me too, Coda. Isn't that funny? Because I was never intrigued either until I started the podcast, and now it's like I love every bit of it. So it's awesome. What about you, Kristen?
Mine is a little more, it's kind of not really paranormal, but it kind of opened me up into another world. And Josh, my brother, he probably remembers this. When we were younger, our Meemaw would take us to this place called Our Lady Farms. Mom, I don't know if you remember that.
I do remember that.
And crowds and crowds of people would come to this farm because apparently the woman that owned the farm had seen apparitions of Mary. We're Catholic, FYI. And so she would take us there, and we would, sit out there and pray the rosary and walk around, and we would take pictures of the sky Well, back then it was like Polaroids, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And we have pictures where you can see like different colored, it looks like different colored jewels like in the sky in some of the pictures. And then in the clouds, it kind of looks like almost like a door. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's, you know, something else or if that was just camera, you know, the way the camera was. But you know, it came into my mind. I'm like, wow, maybe there is other things out there, you know, that we just don't know. And it kind of just spiraled from there. I mean, I've always just been spooked out and, you know, into that kind of stuff.
That's
So,
really cool.
yeah, it was really cool. If I could still find the pictures, that would be really neat. But yeah, they said that they saw all kinds of apparitions and it's craziness.
Just
Yep, Josh says he remembers.
I'm envious.
couple of quick ones. Tammy Wilder Wilson says, I love Hillbilly Youngins. Dakota, you are so mature for your age.
That she is.
Jenny said if she was here that Kristen and her would rap, but you're not here. So Brenda Walker says, aren't octagons bad luck? You know what? I don't know. That's a question. Good question. And I don't know.
I don't know either.
If it is, I don't know why these fighters from MMA always get into the octagon because neither one would win. Apparently not.
I never even thought about that. Heck yeah.
There's a Facebook user from Illinois.
Thank you for joining us.
Somebody said for you to do, can't you just do can't touch this?
Can't touch this. Can you do to quit? Hey, hey.
Hey, hey. Oh, my Lord. Yeah, I
You
won't
want
do
to
that.
do another question, Jared?
Yeah, boy's got
Yes,
one.
do another question.
Okay.
Sorry, boy. Hang on.
Stacey Ham, favorite horror movie for both of you? I couldn't even choose. I have so many. Obviously, I love The Shining. I'm a huge Stephen King fan. Now, the book that Stephen King wrote is very different than the way Stanley Kubrick did the movie, but I still love the movie. It's really awesome. I don't know if any of you all have seen that newer movie, The Hereditary, but it is disturbing, which I love. I like The Strangers. That's really good. The Omen, Conjuring, stuff like that.
My favorite movie, scary movie, is probably Scream, the first Scream, because it's really creepy, but it's not so creepy that I would probably wet myself.
Good answer. I like that.
Oh my goodness.
Well, speaking of which, so Addison is 8 years old and she has a complete fascination with all things horror, especially Scream. Kristen, do you have that picture she drew earlier?
I do.
If any of you all know Bendy and the Ink Machine, it's a video game,
See if
and
you can
there's
see
this
it.
place called the
Can you
Tree
see it
Game.
okay?
She drew
Yeah.
it.
Yes. That's what she draws. So I can imagine her teachers are thrilled with her.
Bloody knives, you know,
Yeah.
Bloody Dragon.
Slender Man.
Bloody cat mouths. Shut up.
Addie, come over and say hey.
We
Go say hi.
went to the a restaurant one day and we're sitting there and she's, they give her the little kids menu that she can draw on and color on. Next thing you know, she's drawn a picture of a bloody knife, the Scream face.
Hi,
Here
Addie.
she is. Say hi, Addie.
Hi. Somebody has to
Who said hi?
So
She's hanging out with us while we do the show.
she's definitely into horror. That's no doubt about that.
Yes, she loves it. And she's always talking about that and
Scary stuff.
scary stuff. And sometimes we're like, Addison, really? All right. Say bye.
Bye.
Say,
Bye,
she's
Addie.
going to go finish her game. Okay.
Ninja, stop.
Uh-oh,
We've got some more questions. Oh, actually, we need to give a shout out to one of our viewers. hopefully they're listening. Dante,
Happy birthday!
happy
Dante.
birthday!
Thank you guys, or thank you so much for listening to our podcast, and I really hope that you have a great birthday, Dante.
Yes, we do.
Oh, happy birthday, Dante.
Well, this
Hopefully
one,
they see this.
this question on the screen, I think, matches up with one of y'all's questions. What's the scariest thing that's ever happened to you guys, paranormal wise?
I got something, but Cody, you try first. Do you have anything?
I have nothing. No.
No. So you all will actually. I don't want to get into too much detail because I'm going to be doing a story on this in a couple weeks. But we stayed at the Talbot Inn in Bardstown, Kentucky, and it was like a joint room, and Mom and Jerry were in the master bedroom, and I got the couch, but the couch was like in a separate room. Of course, I was freaking out all night long. You know, they're just sleeping like babies in there, and I'm like scared to death to go to sleep on this couch. Well, I closed my eyes, and you know when you just feel like something's hovering over top of you, like you can feel like something's staring at you?
No.
I kept feeling that. I was like, oh God, I am not sleeping tonight. So I sat up, I turned on TV, started watching Malibu's Most Wanted, and all of a sudden I saw this huge flash out of like the side of my eye. Like it looked like someone took a picture of me with a camera flash.
Oh, wow.
It scared the crap out of me. And then I'm kid you not, 5 minutes later, here comes Mom walking to go to the bathroom. And I just see somebody out of the corner of my eye, and I about jumped 10 feet off the couch. She scared the crap out of me. And when I was doing some research on the Talbot Inn, I found out that other guests have seen flashes of light. For real.
Look
I
how
think I
lucky
saw
you
something.
are.
I'm not
Yeah.
lucky. I was so
That
scared.
was lucky. You could have nothing happen.
In fairness, there was a lightning storm.
No, there
I
wasn't.
wasn't.
And they had a big window.
It was something.
Tina Oler says, have any of you seen the original The Bad Seed, black and white? It was the creepiest. I haven't even heard of it, I don't think.
No, but I'm always and just like I always want suggestions of new scary things to watch because I've still yet to find a movie that scares the living crap out of me. So I'm always on the hunt
I
for
think
one.
that she's watched pretty much all of them a thousand times.
Mm-hmm.
This one says, I really enjoy the HHS shows. My family and I are traveling to Eastern Tennessee. Any good haunted places I should visit? I don't know of a ton of them in East Tennessee. There's when you start getting towards Nashville and on the western side of the strait, there's plenty. But as far as the eastern side, I'm not really familiar with a lot of places. Duck Dodd said, no doubt that you inherited Tracy's accent and laugh. Love it.
Thank you.
Brenda says, I'm working in St. Augustine for next year. Already have a location nailed down that's affordable. I'm 45 minutes away. Wait for us to put it together. We're going to put that together. We're definitely going to do St. Augustine. It'll be next year. Too soon to even think about it with everything going on. We can't even get the ones we got right now completely situated, but we're definitely going to do that. That's a fantastic place that Brenda found for us, and it's right on the beach. It's like $125 a night. They're all separate condos. It's awesome. So it's going to be perfect.
Also, Brenda, happy late birthday. She said that she had another trip around the sun last
Oh,
Friday.
nice.
Yeah.
I saw a question from
Right.
Josh. He said, my brother said, remember the trailer Tammy and Lou used to live in? I swear that thing was haunted. I don't know if I ever felt that the trailer was haunted because I used to hang out there all the time. But Josh, do you remember the huge house that used to sit where the greenhouses are now? That it was like 100 years old. That house I still have nightmares about that house. I'm telling you, there was something in that house, but they tore it down ever since. So
Yeah. I
Mom
believe
remembers
it.
that house.
Oh, yeah.
Elizabeth Wyatt says she loves y'all's segment.
Thanks,
Thank you.
girl.
Thank you.
Leslie said hi
Hey, Leslie.
to Kristen, but apparently not to Dakota.
Jerry.
I see it.
Ryan Downer says, what do you have in that big cup? It's just cherry Coke. That's all it ever is.
He's lying. It really is just cherry Coke.
Kevin Cummins says East Tennessee State Penitentiary
Oh, yeah.
is, of course, Kevin would know the penitentiary since he worked at Kentucky State Penitentiary.
Why wouldn't we know that? Why wouldn't we?
I didn't know where it was.
Oh.
Josh said, "Yep, the basement was a no-go."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the upstairs where we found the Dungeons and Dragons game.
Whatever happened to Baby Jane? We were just talking about that the other day on
Yep.
Mother's Day when they had Mommy Dearest on.
Mhm.
It's actually one of my favorite old movies.
Yeah, see
Let's
right
see,
there.
that's-
Oh,
I love to get Leslie. Well, the thing about South Pittsburgh Hospital, it is absolutely awesome, but the new owner is trying to get away from the whole haunted thing. So he is throwing fits at anybody and trying to make them take down any podcast they have on the place, which is why we haven't done one yet. And at the same time, he's not letting anybody do any investigations right now. So not one you can do. But Falcon Manor is another good one.
Sorry, I saw no wire hangers.
If that didn't sound like a
I
Tracy
didn't
laugh.
watch that movie.
I know it.
I watched that movie on Mother's Day.
Yeah, we did. That was a good movie to have on Mother's Day.
I know, right? She's
Yeah.
freaking nuts.
Kristen, let's do one more
Bye.
question. Let's do one more question, and then we'll get into the whatchamacallit, the story that you've got.
Oh, okay.
Somebody said Kristen is the finest woman ever.
Did you comment
Whatever.
that? Did you do that comment?
No, no.
So that's odd because your mom is right here.
Oh,
Oh.
That's
Mine
all
was Fawn. Hey Tim, tell your brother Michael I say hello as well. Okay, another question. Let's see. Let's find a good. I mean, they're all good ones.
Let's find a good one.
I'm saying they're all good, so I'm like trying to pick out of all the good ones. Oh, if you could meet any ghost and communicate with them, who would it be? Cody, you first.
Freddie Mercury, because he was an amazing singer.
And he liked his style.
good answer. Good answer.
That would be a kind of magic.
Yeah,
And who would you do, Kristen?
I've got three. John Lennon,
Mm-hmm.
because of course I love the Beatles. And I know you guys know this because I'm always talking about it and Jerry's always getting on me, but you know how obsessed I am with true crime. Obsessed, like in a kind of weird way. I would want to talk to like John Bonet,
No idea who that is.
John Bonet Ramsey, and find out who actually killed her. Was it her mom, dad, or brother, or just some crazy person? And the boys from the Memphis 3.
Hmm.
I mean, I would want to talk to people and find out like cold cases,
Yeah.
major cold cases, so we could know what the real story was.
Yeah.
That's interesting you brought that up because I was thinking the other day I was going to pose a question in the group that basically just said, hey, if you could find out the answer to one mystery, no matter what it is, you know, it could be anything from what happened to the dinosaurs to did Jesus really exist to who some of these cold cases and stuff like that. And John Benet Ramsey was actually one of them that I would have probably put in there to see.
That was such a sad story.
Mm-hmm. Very, very sad.
Yes, Matthew, you've made that clear on many occasions.
I've never done this. Oh my god.
I showed you one time before he put something.
Oh,
my God.
Thanks, guys. Get out of here.
Ryan, I will never, ever, 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 ever.
She
Just
won't watch Hocus Pocus. She won't do it. No Hocus Pocus, no Halloween Town. However, when we watch Christmas, it's Christmas time. I tried to watch Rudolph, and they argue with me and wanted to watch Krampus or Nightmare Before Christmas. So that's what ended up happening.
Dakota don't like cheese too, so there you go.
It's gross. Josh, you spelled Freddie wrong, and yes, Freddie Mercury.
You think so, Leslie?
I still
mean-
think it's the parents.
Or at least the brother. He was a little off, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. I think he was on Dr. Phil or something, and I don't know.
Was that the little brother?
Yeah.
Or
He was
older
very
brother.
peculiar acting for sure.
Peculiar.
So, do you have any more questions, Sissy?
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at how he said Kristen scares me when she talks about how she likes severed heads.
Yeah, that's why I keep my door locked.
His calf was detated.
No, Ryan. Still no.
Okay,
Let's see here.
if you could be any cryptid, what would it be? Natasha wanted to know this question. I would be Bigfoot, and the reason being is because why are you laughing at that?
Because we're all short and we just want to be tall, not necessarily hairy, but
Well, you know, Peluso means hairy in Spanish.
no.
I swear, my Spanish teacher told me that one time in front of the whole class. It was hilarious.
I'm gonna have to fact check that.
You can look. I promise you. I would be Bigfoot because Bigfoot is by himself, by him or herself, with nobody messing with him, and that's a good life. Just being left alone. Nobody all up in your biz.
I would be.
But it would suck to shave.
Yeah, that's true. I've never did it, but still. I would be a werewolf because wolves are my absolute favorite. And Josh, I am not.
Oh, Josh said he's.
Yeah. Josh called me gross, and I'm not.
Yeah, so Daryl, Raymond said. You want to be Daryl.
All right, young ladies, you guys have a story that you're going to share with us. So I thought it would be kind of cool to go ahead and do that right now, and then we'll do some more questions after that.
It's a brief story. We talk more than we talk about things. We just bicker and stuff. We are just basically giving a brief summary and what we think about it on the Black-Eyed Children.
Yes.
No, not the Black-Eyed Peas. The Black-Eyed Children. They don't talk about their humps. I know, we do. Basically, I'm sure you guys know that the legend is of kids 6 to 16. They have pale skin and black eyes. They're seen hitchhiking and panhandling. They're encountered on doorsteps of homes or, at your car. They arrive at your car, your house. They knock and insist on being let in. Anyone who sees them often feels dread. One of the stories that I could find was like a guy in Texas said that these two boys came up to his car saying that they needed a ride home, something with the movies. I can't remember. I think needed to get something so they could bring back to the movies. But he said whenever he looked at them, their eyes were black, and he just felt like he was just like being sucked in, like just like do-do-do-do-do-do-do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
And he was like, oh my gosh, like, no, I can't. And they were just like really insistent on him. And they were like, we can't go unless you say that we can come in. And he's like, no, I can't. And then he ends up leaving. And he swears to this day that he saw them and they had full black eyes.
What do you think would happen if somebody let them in?
I don't know. What would happen? Would they die? What do y'all think?
Well, supposedly, but nobody who's let them in has been able to tell the story. So
that's right.
Who knows?
So what would y'all do? So if you saw a cute little child and they were like, please let me in, would you just shun it? Or, they could have like an eye disorder or something.
Really?
An eye disorder?
Let me tell you this, because this is actually funny. But the guys from Graveyard Tales did a show on black-eyed children. And somebody left them a long review. Matter of fact, I might look it up in a minute. But they left a 2-star review basically telling them they were prejudiced. And they were basically horrible people because they're spreading rumors about these kids. So now if you got a kid that really needs help and knocks on a door, people aren't going to answer the door because they're spreading rumors about black-eyed kids. And it was so funny to see the levels that they took. Mm-hmm. And they were dead serious. Mm-hmm. Dead serious.
Well, if it was a regular kid with regular eyeballs, it would be like, heck yeah.
I personally don't believe in the story. I think
Yeah.
the gentleman you talked about in Texas, he was worked for a newspaper. He was a reporter, and
Ooh.
that was his story. He initially said that it was a joke that he wrote, and it wasn't even in the newspaper. It was something he wrote at the office, and then it just kind of got spread around, and then it took flight from there. But he was the original person to say he saw them. But you're right. He had supposedly pulled into he was going to the bank or something, and he had to write out a check to pay a bill. I think it was the cable company. He was dropping a check off to the cable company.
Yeah.
And he pulled over in a movie theater parking lot because it was enough light. These kids came up, said, hey, they wanted to go to the movies, but that you're right, they had to go back home and grab something and come back, let them in, and he refused to, and it went on from there. But I go by his initial sayings that this was a made up story he did for fun, and I think he's full of crap. But that's
Yeah. Can y'all see us okay?
yeah, it's a little dark, but we can see you.
Is it, you think I should get a light on, or do you think we're all right?
No, I think you're fine.
Okay. And it's getting dimmer in here, so I was just making sure y'all could see us okay.
Yeah,
No,
it's
you're
really
fine.
raining over here.
Well, there's a question for Dakota
Yes.
at the bottom. You know that Dakota loves werewolves and Kristen loves vampires. Have you guys seen the Underworld? No, I haven't.
No. Can you tell us a bit what it's about?
Yeah, what's it about?
About werewolves and vampires. They're literally fighting. But it's like an after end of the world type apocalypse type deal, but it's werewolves and vampires, kind of like a really good version of Twilight.
Oh, cool.
I know that somebody, let me see what their names were. I know Raymond, he was a part of it. They were hating on me because I like Interview with the Vampire. And they say Lost Boys is better. And then Raymond says Fright Night's better. I started watching Lost Boys, and it is a good movie, but they're like 80s vampires. And to me, Interview with the Vampire is what an actual vampire, I feel like, would look like. You know, like medieval-ish.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? To me, that's what I think they would look like more. I just really like the movie, and I'm starting to read the book. So.
Oh, we have somebody from Germany. Wow.
I think
Oh, hi from Germany.
my favorite vampire movie that nobody ever talks about is Near Dark. That's a really good movie.
I've not seen that.
It's got your guy, what's his name, Lance Henriksen, I think is his name. But it's a group of them, with 3 or 4 or 5 of them. They're like a family, but they're traveling around in a van the whole time. So it's like you wouldn't even know they were vampires. They just look like normal people and all this stuff. But it's just a different take than what you would normally see.
Yeah.
Either.
That's right, Gina. Sorry, Patty's.
Patty mad at the game.
Yes, I think she just died in her game. Hi, Christopher. The Boy was an amazing show too. It was.
Just freaking out about a charger.
Just keep it in there, Addison. Okay. Sorry, guys. My ancestors are from Germany. Check out my middle name, Bilger. Y'all know how I am at pronunciating words. Every time Jerry and I do the midweek for Fear of the Week, and I know that the story has big words, I'm like, you got this one. I'm like, I'm gonna let you do this one.
Yeah, I
So
feel
I
you,
can make a
sister.
fool out of myself.
Yeah, I'm like, here you go. Mm-mm.
We have another question, and Mom and Jerry, y'all can answer this one too. What are you doing to stay? Oh, this is from Brad Fitzpatrick. What are you doing to stay entertained during this social distancing period? Coda?
I've been stretching so much every day because I really want to learn how to do jazz dance. So I've been stretching a whole lot to try to do that, and I gotten so sore, so sore.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good for you, honey. That's really good. Discovering some unused muscles.
Yeah.
Mom and Jerry, you know what I've been trying to do. Knitting, sewing, and crocheting.
I'm better at knitting.
And I cannot even. I have I just settled for puzzles, basically.
I can figure out how to.
I got some Harry Potter puzzles.
Where's the charger?
Hold on 1 second.
Well, I personally just been working, so I haven't had any extra time. I'm working more now than I ever have, I think. So I'd like to have some free time, but it hadn't happened.
Yeah. And I've been helping Jerry editing some things, take some stuff off his plate. So
Yeah, she's been doing good.
Very
Thank
big help.
you.
Very big help.
thank you. I enjoy doing it.
Matthew says, have you all followed the case of Sarah Turney? I love her podcast. I hope they solve the case for her sister.
Yes.
Obviously, that's the case with Alyssa Turney, and Sarah is a good friend of the show. I hope they find her sister too. Matter of fact, I think on the episode last week, that the live we did, she actually tuned in for a little bit because I saw she made a comment on there. But no, it's a great podcast. If you like true crime, it's definitely out there. It's what is it? Voices of Justice.
Yes.
So give it a listen if you haven't already. There is some extremely foul language in there, but it's gripping. It's a different podcast than anything that's out there. So
you definitely need to hear
she's
it.
trying to find out what happened to her sister that's been missing for years now. So
Bye, Boyd.
Oh, yeah. Bye, Boyd. Yeah, it's really good. I like listening to it too. I haven't finished it yet, but her dad is something else.
Yeah. I know. It's a really sad situation for sure.
Mm-hmm. What else we got? Any more questions on here? Should I refer back to our?
let's go ahead and refer back.
Okay.
Okay, Cody, you got one?
Let's see
Oh,
here.
dude, that's a good one.
Okay, this one is from Michelle or Michael. I don't know.
Michael.
I don't know which one. I always get super confused. And the question is, how do you two like working together? Is it like a business deal or more of a mother-daughter moment? I think it's more of mother-daughter moments for sure.
Yeah, it's business in a way where I'm like, all right, Coda, we've got to sit down and record. We have to.
Very
We've got to get some
strict.
research done.
Yeah.
And then once we get going, I mean, I'm sure whoever listens to us can tell, like, we'll try to be serious and really get into the story. And then next thing you know, we're talking about something else that has absolutely nothing to do with what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
We just start rambling about different things, or Dakota starts making fun of me about how I have weak ankles.
It's
So,
kind of funny sometimes.
yeah. I get it from my mama. And how I fell.
And
And Addison came upstairs and asked if it was storming because she thought she heard thunder.
And it was just so cold.
Anyway.
All right, so I have a question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dakota,
Uh-huh.
how has this being on the show now and having literally 10,000 people a week listen to you guys on the show?
Mhm.
How does that make you feel from a just from a standpoint of knowing that you have so many people that follow and listen to what you say?
I think it's really great because before sometimes I felt like nobody was listen. So now to know that like 10,000 people are like always listening, it's really awesome. And I've learned so much from this podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, good answer.
Well, when we started doing it, I mean, I don't have all the updates and stuff that Jerry gets as far as how many people listen.
Mm-hmm.
So we would just do it and then just go on about our day. Like we record and it would go out and that would be it. And I asked Jerry, I'm like, I hope people like it. I hope, people are listening.
Yeah.
And he's like, you have like close to 10,000 listens in a week. And I was like, what? All these people listening to me ramble on? Holy crap. And then once I heard that, I felt really special.
Yeah.
And it made me want to, do more research and really put a lot of work into it and just hope that everyone keeps listening and likes it because it's weird to think.
And if you all don't like it, we're doing something wrong.
Yeah. Let us know. We take constructive criticism.
That's good. That's a good answer. That's how we feel too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
feel like I'm doing the Miss America pageant. And world peace.
Oh,
I know it's hard to see, but up here, right in here, it shows there's a little over 8,000 listens for the week already on the episode that's been out for 5 days.
Holy poop.
8,082.
Oh my god.
That's really
Oh,
good,
they're
guys.
ninja.
He's
so
excited
proud of
about
you.
it.
Thanks, Mitch.
We had a little side bet, and he said, when he got to 8,000 for the week, he was going to start barking and celebrate. So first he's heard the news. So
Come on, Ninja.
When we hit 20, he'll start snorting.
so Kristen, what about the show has benefited you the most so far?
What about the show has benefited me so far?
Yeah, from you doing the show with Dakota, what's the biggest benefit you've gotten from it so far?
You're bringing me and her closer. Because and don't get me wrong, we have
Only because you have to share the same earplugs.
We do. We're like Siamese twins. No, we have had our share of, spats and stuff, but it's something that we share a passion in, and getting to sit down and interact with each other, I feel like it just brings a closer bond to each other, which I love. I mean, I love my girls. They're like my little best friends.
She has a tattoo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. My tattoo. I don't know if I can show it. It's like, shoot, I can't do it because this camera's weird. Anyway, it's like a tree, and then my girls are on each side. How do I do my arm? Oh, there we go. It's like because they're growing from my roots. I'm not that tall though in real life. That tree's a little taller than I am, but
Yeah, a little more than
that tree, for the actual height, I would probably be a bit taller.
yeah. But yeah, I like it a lot, and hopefully, Addie can be a part of it one day. She's more of not so much the talker, but she's very good at drawing, as y'all saw earlier. She's very creative.
I feel like
She is very good.
Maybe if we're ever like super, super famous, she can draw our logo.
Yeah, I feel like we kind of have. I'm not very good at drawing except for when it comes to dragons. I'm kind of decent at drawing dragons.
You're not bad.
I can draw stick people.
You're not good at drawing. I'm joking.
I also just said I'm not good at drawing.
I'm joking.
Haters.
Tina said you are all inspirational. Thank you, Tina.
No, thank you.
Thanks, Tina.
Okay, fantastic.
Mom, Jerry, I have a question for you guys, and I'm sure you all have answered this on your other live shows. Out of all the places that you have been, what's your favorite place that you have visited as far as like paranormal stuff, like haunted places?
That's a good one. I don't really have any that stand out as great. I like the fact that we went to the Sally house, but Bobby Mackey's is probably my favorite, I would say.
That's the thing.
I like Bob Mackey's. I haven't been on the tour, but I went to the bar before I knew it was haunted. I went there for a bachelorette party, and I'm like, man, this place is creepy as heck. But, I just didn't think much about it. And then I had no idea that it was claimed to be haunted. I had no idea. And now that I know, I'm like, wow.
There's a big sign as soon as you walk in that says it's haunted.
Well, when you have a few drinks, you don't really pay attention to stuff like that. In the Sally house, you already know what I'm going to say about the Sally house.
No, Matthew, actually, I want to go to a college to study zoology. Because I want to be a zoologist because animals are my favorite thing in the entire world, pretty much, other than my family.
You could be a familyologist.
And be a zoologist.
Tina, I was going to bring up Tina lives out on the West Coast, and she has been to a lot of places out there, and she's the one who actually went to the Winchester house and sent us the Winchester look like shotgun shells that are what do you call them?
Yeah.
Shakers.
Yeah.
And the Dakota is fascinated by the Winchester Mystery House, and I showed her that, and I showed her the pamphlet that you sent us out there from there. But she's also sent us the things from Alcatraz, and it's pretty cool.
Ooh.
So
Yeah, that's
Tina's
really cool.
Tina's hooked us up on the places out in the West.
Yeah, it was so nice. Thank you, Hank, for doing that.
I love the Winchester house. It is so weird. And there was actually supposedly a room, because she had the woman who owned it had the only key into that room, and people said that it was to do rituals and like thank the spirits and stuff, and give her directions for the designing of the house. It was cool. And she was the only one who had the key, and there was only one entrance and like 3 exits, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool for sure.
Yeah.
Just to know that they just kept building and building and building on this house, and
I mean, they had like stairways that led to
No way.
nothing.
mhm.
I read that it was to confuse
Mm-hmm.
like people if they came to do something bad.
I think it's to confuse the spirits or something to like keep them
Yeah.
away.
Just to confuse something or people, so they wouldn't think there was something up there.
Tina, I wish we could go to California. I'm not even sure when they're going.
They're going to California.
It'll be sometime next year, but we don't know exactly when yet.
Yeah, it would just depend. I mean, I don't know if we'll be there or not.
Out of
I have a pretty crazy work schedule at Toyota, so I don't know if I would be able to get off work or not.
out of every single place that they've gone to, the only place that I've gone to is West Virginia with Happy Jerry, and it was to schedule something.
For the Mothman thing. Yeah.
Yeah, we went
Yeah,
to
that's
Point Pleasant.
Only place.
Oddly enough, we got to ask. Bob Carr said, "What's your favorite haunt in Mississippi?" I'm gonna be honest with you, Bob. I don't have one that I can even think of right off the bat in Mississippi. I'm sure there's one that's big that I know of. That as soon as you would say it, I would know. But right off the bat, I can't think of any.
They had some bed and breakfast.
Well, I know
Places,
there's
right?
probably plenty, and there's some stuff in Vicksburg and the Altura? I think it's the Altura bed and breakfast, and there's a bunch of little places, but I don't know of any big ones right off the bat. We can't all be quiet.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were about to look through something. I mean, I can keep going. I can ramble all day. I liked when we went to the Sally house, except for the part where I had to sleep on the floor and Princess Justin Rimmel got the couch. I'm not even kidding. That boy. That floor was so hard. When I woke up, I was sore the whole next day. The whole next day.
Just when
And he slept just fine. He was snoring and everything else. I was scared to death to get up and go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I woke up at like, it was like 5:30 or 6 in the morning, and I had to pee so bad. And the bathroom is up the stairs, and everyone in the house is asleep. I'm like, Lord Jesus, please just let this pee go away. And it was not. I ran so fast, and if y'all know me, I don't run. So I walked briskly up the stairs and just went so fast, and then hurried up and ran down them. Luckily, I didn't fall. I was so scared.
I don't blame you. It's a scary place.
Well, usually at around 6 to 7 a.m., people get out of their REM stage, so you can kind of just wake them up.
Oh, there you go, girl.
She's so smart. She schools
I
me.
know it. I
She
know
says, she says things. I'm like, what? This is not making me sound kind of stupid, but I'll just put it out there. I didn't know what a geyser was. Like in Yellowstone.
Oh yeah, that's right.
April.
But what did I do? It was something. I did something, and Coda was like, "Oh, that looks just like a geyser," and I'm like, "Oh, what?" She's like, "You don't know what a geyser is?" And then I went down. I went to Mom and Jerry, and I'm like, "Have you ever heard of a geyser?" And Jerry was like, "Yeah." You don't know what a geyser is? I'm like, "What the crap? No." Like an IGMO.
I had to show her pictures.
Yeah, I
And then
know
she was
what
like,
it is now.
oh.
We still love you.
It's been a long time since I've been in school.
Not that long ago.
I don't think I even knew what it was when I was in school.
Tina said, I also sent you photos and was interviewed when I went to the Queen Mary. That was amazing. That's right. I forgot about that.
Very cool.
Nicole Hager says, so Oregon is just a state away from California. Good. Then you won't have a problem driving to us. We're in California. It's very close.
I would love to go to Oregon, actually.
Probably the closest we'll get to Oregon is probably going to be Sacramento. What I want to do is hit LA and that vicinity, San Diego and Sacramento. That puts us in all the different parts where our listeners are. So we're not going to do any shows out there, but we'll probably just visit a bunch of haunted places out that way. And then we will have some meetups with anybody who wants to come visit, maybe go to some haunted places with us. So that's how that's going to work.
Yeah, there's a lot of places we want to go so bad.
I really want to go to any of the places you all go.
I want to go to the Grand Canyon
I just want to go to California because I've never been to the
in my
beach.
hover round. Sorry. Hey, we have another question, and this can go for all four of us. From Ruth Wooten Key, what's your favorite ghost story?
I don't have one.
I like Amityville. And Jerry reminded me of this when we were talking about the other day, is the Sharon Tate story from the Charles Manson murders.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I know.
Yeah.
I've been watching documentaries on it all weekend. It was the women of Manson, where they like interviewed the different girls that were there. It's really cool.
It's not cool. It's terrible.
It's amazing. Whenever we watch Don't F with Cats, I don't know if y'all have ever watched that. I found the video that he did, and I watched the whole thing.
You cannot talk about that for Maddie.
I'm disturbed.
Well, quit talking about it. That's terrible.
I'm gonna be grounded now.
I always go back to the same one. Obviously, my favorite ghost story is always the Bell Witch. So I just think that was such an amazing story. But there's a bunch of good ones out there. The what's the one in West Virginia? Man, I just drew a complete blank. I'll think of it in a second. But there's one in West Virginia to where the woman was actually killed by her husband. And she came back from the dead and kept telling her mom she was killed, to where they went and dug the body up and did an autopsy. And once they did the autopsy, they realized that she had been strangled by her husband.
Wow.
And it's the only case in America where a ghost actually decided the trial. And what's funny about it is her attorneys were like, "Oh, we're not going to have you step on stage talking about the mom. We're not going to have you step up there to the and try to on this witness stand and say that craziness out there. That's just not going to work." And so the prosecution thought, "Well, that's our ticket. We'll make her say it," and they ended up using that to convict the husband. So yeah, the only case in American history where ghost testimony actually resulted in a guilty verdict.
Isn't that something? That's just so unbelievable.
Crazy.
So cool though. That's what I told Jerry. Why can't it would be nice if all ghosts could come back and say, well, he's the one that did it, or solving a lot of unsolved crimes. And
well, it's like, like how they use like the psychics sometimes in investigations. That's pretty cool.
Raymond, I wish I could go there, but I don't know if I'm going to go to California or not. So there it is.
She's a little salty. Hey, I got another good question. This one is from Rebecca Sams Codner, I think. Have either of you had visitation dreams of someone from the other side?
Nope.
I have.
It's interesting.
So my peepaw, Peluso, died of lung cancer. And the last time I saw him, he was kind of, my Meemaw was taking care of him. And if you all don't know him, but he was a, Italian man, and he had that attitude, and it was just, like, I can do this on my own. You know how Italians are. But anyways, and my Meemaw was taking care of him, and he was, groaning, and I can't say the word, complaining about it. So I was like, all right, people, I'll see you later. And I didn't, get to give him a hug like I normally do. Well, not long after that, he passed on. And we had a Catholic funeral, which I'm sure, I don't know if any of y'all have ever been to a Catholic funeral, but they're like 10,000 hours long. And so I never really got to say, goodbye. And I had a dream years later where all of my family members were lined up in a row in front of his house, and one by one he just started like walking like in front of us, and like we all knew that he was dead, that wasn't actually him. And he walked up to me and he gave me a hug, and I woke up and like I was in tears. It felt so real, and I truly believe that he was giving me that closure, that he was visiting me to give me that hug that I like so regretted not being able to give him.
That's really nice, though.
I know.
Hey, Kayla, hi, sweetheart.
So Brenda says, tell us about your visit to Key West when you have time. I had an incident in Captain Tony's. Save that for another day if needed. We had a lot of fun in Key West. We got to hit all the places that I wanted to, haunted wise. Obviously, Captain Tony's was, tops on my list besides seeing Robert the Doll. But we didn't experience anything as usual. So, but there you go.
It was cool, though. We had a great time.
I would have liked to see Robert the Doll.
You should not ever insult Robert, though.
Oh my gosh! And you cannot you can't take a picture with him without asking it for his permission.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jerry, did you ask for permission?
No, but your mom did, because she's a wuss.
You better be glad she did.
Yeah.
Bringing all that crap home with you.
That's okay. I walked by and I whispered, "I take it back." That's okay. I take it back.
The nerve of you! Hey, we've got one more question if you want to do a last one from Brenda.
Let's go ahead and do that.
Commenting throughout. She wants to know, what's the scariest place that we've ever visited? Mine's a close call between Waverly and the Talbot Inn. I say the Talbot Inn just because of what I saw, but Waverly, I mean, words cannot do it justice on how amazing that place is.
Mm-hmm.
It's not only scary, but just knowing the history of it is heartbreaking, and it is the craziest. You've got to go on a tour there if you have not. It's amazing. How many times have I just said amazing? Like 5?
Yeah, I think they're starting the tours back up now too.
Yeah, they started already, or they're getting ready to start in a couple of days or something.
Yeah,
But they're up for doing it. So you choose the Talbot over the Sally House.
Yeah, because I didn't encounter anything at the Sally House. I was just kind of walking around like I was just visiting somebody's house. I told you the worst part was sleeping on the floor. But other than that, I mean, it was creepy. The basement was really creepy. But other than that, I mean, I didn't really experience anything. And I mean, I'm not saying that it's not haunted, but it gave a creepy feel, but not as much as the other ones, no.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Kayla.
Dakota,
Yes.
what's the scariest place you've ever been? Sure, even if it's not haunted, there's probably some place that creeped you out.
West Virginia, which is like, it's pretty scary because I went and I was pretty freaked out that I might see the Mothman. Luckily, I didn't. It was only a statue, but yeah, I was pretty freaked out the whole time I was there, but it was pretty fun.
Didn't you say that you were kind of scared when y'all went into that building?
Oh yeah, remember
the Low Hotel, the one where you had to go to the bathroom
all by myself? I was freaked out then, but I was even more freaked out when we went to Not to the house. I do not remember what it's called. It was like a memorial thing.
Oh, yeah. So in the cemetery there's a park, and it's not really a cemetery; it's a park, but there's a lot of gravestones and stuff there from the Revolutionary War.
Mm-hmm.
And during that time, there was a mansion there, and it's like just a log cabin now, 2-story, 3-story log cabin, but it's really small. It's like something you'd see on Little House, but back then it was a mansion, and we went through that thing. And Dakota, they had all these different. They had these things that were made out of like a person's hair. When they pass away, they would make these little artwork out of their hair. That was a commonplace thing. They had some from like the 1700s still hanging on the wall. So it was pretty cool place. But yeah, that's what she's talking about. And it's inside that park where all the Civil War soldiers are buried.
Hey, Robert.
Yeah,
Hey.
and the other,
Sorry.
and the other place, it's okay. And the other places where I wasn't allowed to go up, and I into that one place, so they made me come back down and wait for you all to be done talking. And I was scared out of my mind because it was supposed to be that place was haunted.
Yeah, that's the American Legion where we actually did the show.
Yeah.
That's right, American Legion.
Mhm.
And so I was not allowed to go up there, and the woman was like, yeah, she can't be up here. She's got to go back down. So I took the elevator back down by myself, and then I waited back there.
That elevator was creepy too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like I don't know. Sorry. I'm belching.
And Andrea wants to say, just wanted to say that I love you all. All of you, you're helping me through long hours at work, and the group is amazing when life gets tough. Well,
Oh, we
thank you.
love you, Andrea.
Yeah, Andrea lives right here with us in
Yeah.
Lexington.
Thank you,
Heck
sweetheart.
yeah. I have one last question. Are you about to sign off, Jer?
Yep. So say, no, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Is there any place that you guys have not got to go that you would like to go? Like haunted
Oh,
place?
hundreds. I
What's,
mean,
your,
there's
what's your top?
Stanley Hotel is up there. Queen Mary, Alcatraz. I want to go to all those places. I want to go to St. Augustine Lighthouse, which is why we're setting a show up there to be able to knock that one off the bucket list. I want to go to Virginia City, which is one of the biggest haunted ghost towns. There's so many that I can't even begin to name.
We could never go to all of them in our lifetime, I don't think.
But we're going to knock a bunch of them out on that trip to California.
No, that's a lot. There's a bunch
Yeah.
there.
Which I really want to go
I would
to.
love to go to Auschwitz. Just saying.
Off switch.
Auschwitz, the
Oh.
concentration camp.
Oh.
Yeah. That's so sad. I just want to go there just for the history of everything. It's so sad.
Really.
Coda?
I watched The Boy in Striped Pajamas. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. And I cried
We cried
I
so
cried.
hard.
so bad.
And she was like, "Why did you make me watch this?"
I cried on a dog's journey. I cried at
I like to traumatize my kids.
Apparently.
Well, guys, it's been fun. We thank you guys for joining us for a little bit. First time we've been able to do a family affair on here, so really cool. And I guess we're signing off, guys.
You guys have anything else to say before we leave?
Are you talking about us?
Yeah,
yeah.
you're the only ones on that with us.
Brenda, he doesn't
I
have
thought you were talking to them. Yes, we love you guys, and we hope you like our show, and we hope you're staying safe. And holla.
Goodbye. Brenda, he doesn't have any, so we're good.
Holla, shakala. That's right.
20-inch blade, only Impala. See, you could have done that one.
I forgot the words.
She's trying. She's got the head bob.
All right.
We
On
love
that,
you
we're calling it a
guys.
night.
We love y'all. And
Bye.
thanks for tuning in.
Bye,
Y'all
guys.
stay safe. See y'all in a minute. Bye, girls. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.